We long for connection, a bond that makes us feel understood and valued. We crave intimacy and love, those moments of closeness that bring warmth to our hearts. But within these desires lies a fundamental truth. We cannot control another person's heart. Each heart beats to its own rhythm, guided by its own desires and dreams.
Each individual has the inherent right to choose their own path, to follow the journey that feels true to them, to make decisions that align with their values and desires, even if those choices differ from our own. This freedom to choose is paramount in any relationship, romantic or otherwise. It is the foundation of mutual respect and understanding.
We may not always agree with the choices others make. Their paths may diverge from what we envisioned. Their decisions might even cause us pain or confusion, leaving us to grapple with our own emotions. However, attempting to control their actions or manipulate their feelings only leads to resentment and suffering. It creates a barrier that stifles true connection.
True connection flourishes when we acknowledge and respect the autonomy of those around us. It is in this space of respect that trust and love grow. This respect extends to all facets of life, from small everyday choices to life-altering decisions. Every choice is a step on their unique journey. Each person has the right to navigate their own journey, to walk their own path with confidence and freedom.
We can offer support, a shoulder to lean on during tough times, advice and love, sharing our wisdom and experiences. But ultimately, the final decision rests with the individual. It is their life to live, their story to write. The desire to control stems from fear. We fear the unknown, the possibility of pain, the potential loss of someone we love. But clinging tightly only suffocates the relationship. It creates an environment of distrust and resentment.
When we try to control someone, we are essentially saying, "You are not capable of making your own decisions." This lack of respect erodes the foundation of any healthy connection. It diminishes the other person's sense of self and creates an imbalance of power.
True love requires open hands, not clenched fists. It necessitates letting go of the need to control and trusting in the other person's ability to make their own choices, even if those choices differ from our own. Imagine a garden filled with diverse flowers, each blooming in its own time. Some flowers might be bright and bold, while others are delicate and shy. Each flower is unique, beautiful in its own way. Relationships are much the same.
Each person brings their own history, their own experiences, their own values. We cannot expect others to blossom according to our timeline or preferences. Their journey is their own to navigate.
We might wish for a specific outcome, a certain path for them to take. But life rarely unfolds according to our plans. Trying to force someone into a mold that doesn't fit stifles their growth and ultimately leads to unhappiness. While we cannot control the actions of others, we have immense power over our own choices. We can choose how we respond to situations, how we treat others, and how we navigate the complexities of relationships. This self-awareness is crucial for personal growth and for building healthy connections.
Instead of focusing on what others are doing or not doing, we can turn our attention inward. What choices are we making? Are we acting in alignment with our values? Are we taking responsibility for our own happiness and well-being?
When we shift our focus from controlling others to empowering ourselves, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We begin to live more authentically, making choices that are true to who we are.
Attempting to control another person is like trying to hold on to water.
The tighter we grasp, the more it slips through our fingers.
Control is an illusion, a temporary fix that ultimately leads to greater pain and disconnection.
When we try to control, we create a dynamic of resistance. The other person naturally pushes back against our attempts to restrict their freedom.
This can lead to arguments, resentment, and a breakdown of communication.
The irony is that the more we try to control, the less control we actually have. We become consumed by the other person's actions, constantly trying to manipulate the situation to fit our desired outcome.
This leaves us feeling anxious, exhausted, and ultimately powerless.
Acceptance is the antidote to control.
It is the willingness to see others for who they truly are, flaws and all, and to respect their choices, even if we don't agree with them.
Acceptance doesn't mean condoning hurtful behavior or compromising our own values. It means releasing the need to change or fix others and instead focusing on what we can control, our own actions and reactions.
When we accept others for who they are, we create space for genuine connection. We allow ourselves to be vulnerable and authentic, knowing that we are loved and accepted for who we are, not who we pretend to be.
This acceptance extends to ourselves as well. We must learn to embrace our own imperfections, to forgive ourselves for past mistakes, and to show ourselves the same kindness and compassion we offer to others.
Letting go can be terrifying. It often feels like stepping into the unknown, a leap of faith that challenges our deepest fears. It requires surrendering control, embracing uncertainty, and trusting in something beyond ourselves. This act of trust can be daunting, but it is also profoundly liberating.
But within this act of surrender lies incredible freedom. It's like a bird taking flight, soaring high above the constraints that once held it down. When we let go of the need to control, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. We begin to see paths we never noticed before, opportunities that were hidden in plain sight.
We allow life to unfold naturally, without forcing or manipulating outcomes. Just like a river flows effortlessly, we too can move with the current of life. This doesn't mean we become passive observers in our own lives. Instead, we engage more deeply, creating and participating with a sense of ease and flow.
We can still set boundaries, communicate our needs, and make choices that are in our best interests. It's about finding a balance between action and acceptance. But we do so with an open heart and a willingness to accept whatever comes. This openness allows us to connect more deeply with others and with ourselves.
The beauty of letting go is that it allows us to experience life more fully. We become more attuned to the subtle joys and wonders that surround us. We become more present, more attuned to the present moment, and less consumed by worry and fear. This presence brings a profound sense of peace and contentment.
We learn to find joy in the journey, even when it takes unexpected turns. Each twist and turn becomes an opportunity for growth and discovery, making the journey itself a beautiful adventure. Disagreements are inevitable in any relationship. No two people will agree on everything all the time. But it's how we navigate these disagreements that determines the health and longevity of the connection.
When we approach disagreements from a place of control, we are essentially trying to win. We want the other person to see things our way, to concede to our perspective. This creates a dynamic of winners and losers, which breeds resentment and undermines trust.
Instead, we can choose to approach disagreements with curiosity and empathy. We can strive to understand the other person's perspective, even if we don't agree with it. This doesn't mean we have to compromise our own values or beliefs. It simply means we are willing to listen, to learn, and to find common ground. One of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves and others is the courage to be authentic. When we try to control others, we are essentially asking them to be someone they're not. We are asking them to conform to our expectations, to fit into a mold that we have created. This pressure to conform can be suffocating.
It prevents us from fully expressing ourselves and from living in alignment with our true nature. When we feel safe to be our authentic selves, without judgment or fear of rejection, we create space for deeper, more meaningful connections.
Choosing authenticity requires vulnerability. It means showing up as we are, imperfections and all. But within this vulnerability lies incredible strength. It is the strength to be true to ourselves, even when it's scary, even when it's uncomfortable. Respect is the foundation of any healthy relationship. It is the bedrock upon which trust and mutual understanding are built. It means valuing the other person for who they are, not for who we want them to be. This appreciation fosters a sense of belonging and acceptance. It means honoring their choices, even if those choices differ from our own. Respecting differences allows for a richer, more diverse community.
When we respect others, we acknowledge their inherent dignity and worth. This recognition is crucial for fostering genuine connections. Respect is not something we give or take away based on someone's actions. It is a constant, unwavering principle. It is a fundamental human right that should be extended to everyone, regardless of their beliefs, behaviors, or choices. This universal respect is the cornerstone of a just society.
When we live from a place of respect, we create a world where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. This environment nurtures growth and understanding. This doesn't mean we have to agree with everyone or condone harmful behavior. Respect includes the ability to disagree without demeaning the other person. We can still set boundaries, communicate our needs, and walk away from relationships that are no longer serving us. Boundaries are a form of self-respect, but we do so with respect and compassion, recognizing that everyone is on their own journey. This compassionate approach helps build a more empathetic world. Life is a river, constantly flowing, ebbing, and changing course. We cannot control the current or force the river to bend to our will. We can, however, choose how we navigate the waters.
We can fight against the current, exhausting ourselves in a futile attempt to control the uncontrollable. Or we can learn to flow with the river, trusting in the journey and embracing the unknown.
When we let go of control, we allow ourselves to be carried by the current. We become more adaptable, more resilient, and more open to new experiences. We learn to find joy in the journey, even when it takes us in unexpected directions. And in this surrender, we discover a freedom that no amount of control could ever provide.